Hey everybody, thanks for tuning to the Android Authority. My name is Daryl Doak, and this is our review for the Google Nexus S4G on Sprint. It's physically identical to the T-Mobile version of the phone that launched approximately 6 months ago, except for this one has support for Sprint's optional 4G WiMAX network. The Nexus S phones are based on the Samsung Galaxy S phones, so there are some physical similarities here, like the volume rocker being located on the top left, the power button being located here on the top right. But there is some changes where they took the power port and the headphone jack and relocated them to the bottom. And they've also added a concave screen and taken away the Gorilla Glass. The only complaint I have about the physical side of the device are the rearranged capacitive touch buttons. In comparison, here's a Samsung Epic. See the brightness difference of the buttons. And so in the daylight, you cannot see these buttons at all. And you'll have to remember which order they're in, except for they are different than any other Android phone out there on the market right now. So that's one frustration. The only other thing I would complain about on the physical side of the device is this plastic back cover is very glossy, gathers fingerprints, and really feels kind of cheap in comparison to something like a soft touch back. When it comes to the software of the phone, everything is really smooth. It is really nice to use. There's no hiccups anywhere in here. There's no lag. And everything runs very smoothly. There's really only two complaints that I have when it comes to the software. First one is the inability to do more than 160 characters in an SMS. The way you resolve that is by using a third-party application like HandSent SMS. The only other complaint that I have is the inability to activate 4G through a widget. There's no widget support in this one. So the only way to do it is by going into the settings, going to wireless and networks, 4G settings, and enabling it right here. But when you're browsing the web and you want to download something and you want to jump on the 4G network, there's no quick way to do it. There's no way to do a drop down and doing like quick settings or something like that. Quick settings can't control the 4G. And so there was some frustration on there, as well as doing something like WidgetZoid. It was not able to control the 4G in this phone either. When it comes to bonuses of the Nexus S, one of the only things I could really think of, except for the fact that this is vanilla gingerbread, is the Netflix application where you're able to stream video directly to the handset, which not a lot of Android devices are able to do these days. Sprint does offer a couple different applications that I found interesting. One of them was the Total Equipment Protection application, which makes it to where you can sync contacts and do a location on a lost phone. And Telenav Navigator, which if you do not like the Google navigation, they do offer you a free navigation program that does work pretty good. When you look at Touch Test, just like the other Samsung Galaxy S phones, it supports up to 5 touches at a single time. Another aspect of the phone that actually seemed pretty disappointing was the camera quality. When doing still shots, there was still quite a bit of noise in the pictures, even though there was enough lighting. It does have its LED flash right here, but that really didn't help anything when it came to the shots. They were still pretty grainy even in the bright daylight. When it came to video quality, it was pretty disappointing because it's limited to only a 480p, where Galaxy S phones are normally limited to a 720p. So I found that pretty disappointing. And then during a quick video call, quick chat, using the front-facing video camera, I had a pretty poor time where it was even on Wi-Fi, it was sending a pretty poor quality of call to an Evo. And so I was pretty disappointed overall with the camera quality over the whole device, whether it was a still or the video or the front-facing camera. I had a pretty bad experience overall. Overall, the Google Nexus S 4G was a pretty enjoyable device. However, there were two glaring problems that I could not actually get past. One of them was a data connection issue, where on a WiMAX connection, I would often only get about a 1 megabit connection, and on a 3G connection, I would only get about a 100 to a 200 kilobit connection. And so these are areas that normally I would see on an Evo, a 6 to a 7 megabit connection on WiMAX, or a 7 to 800 kilobit connection on 3G. And so So that was a big problem. The other issue was the battery uptime. There was one point I only saw about a little over 6 hours on a battery from 100% down to 0, which it was pretty unacceptable for a device that is running vanilla Gingerbread, and really there's not a lot of stuff that was running in the background. So I was pretty disappointed with that. And overall, those two issues would make it to where I just could not have this device on a daily basis. Thanks for tuning into Android Authority, and definitely check back with us in the future on future handset reviews.